So the way that you find things that you're excited about is to take the passion test. Because truly, if you don't know what gets you out of bed in the morning, if you don't know what turns you on, if you don't know what you love, then you've gotten so busy doing all the other little things that you really don't care about, that you've gotten so far away from those things that really matter most to you, that it's time to really get quiet, get centered, and start to ask yourself, if the world was my oyster, if I could have and be and do anything, what would that thing be? And that's the very best beginning. And in the passion test, what we do is we have people think about the different areas of their life. And this is so they can have balance in living their passions. So think about health and career, spirituality, fun, relationships, all these different areas. Environment, where do you live? Is it at the ocean? Is it in the mountains? Do you walk into your house and feel that you're being healed? So we have people get really clear and start with this sentence: when my life is ideal, I am. And then think about each one of these areas and act as if it's already that way. When my life is ideal, I am. So for instance, in terms of relationships, if you're someone who wanted to meet your ideal mate, then you would write something like, when my life is ideal, I am spending massive quality time with the man of my dreams. Or when my life is ideal, I am sharing my life, and it doesn't get any better than this, with the man I love or the woman I love. In the passion test, when you come up with your top 5 passions, then what you'll notice is it's not necessarily that you're always going to choose in favor of the number 1. No, it's just you're going to choose in favor of one of your top 5 passions in whatever moment that particular passion is most relevant. And that's how you meet with success. Not everyone in this world is here to be a billionaire or a millionaire. But if you want to, it's pretty easy, because what you put your attention on grows stronger in your life. And so therefore, what do you have to do? Well, the first step is how are you going to create that wealth? What is it that you're going to do? And here's the thing. When people set out to do something because they think their passion is to have more money, if they go after something that they don't love, that really isn't satisfying to them, the first sign of an obstacle or a roadblock, the first sign that it gets hard, what do? They give up. So if you really want to have wealth, and you want to have, like the people in the book Success Built to Last, who knew long-standing success for over 10, 20, 30, 40 years, then you have to make it a habit of consistently choosing in favor of what matters most to you. Because why? Because in life happens. And there are challenges, there are obstacles, but if you don't have a great love for that thing, then you'll give up at the first chance. And if you love that thing, that love, that passion, that joy that you have for whatever it is, somehow you'll find your way through. And that's the road to abundance, to creating real wealth. Right now, my number one passion is to do whatever I can to uplift humanity. And what I mean by that is that I've been very concerned about the world situation and how there's so much separation in the world. And so I've created programs to end that separation and really be able to bring people together and understand that their nature is love. So that is my number one passion. My energy comes because every moment in life matters. Every moment in life matters. So I don't entertain negative thinking. I don't let it grip my mind. And for those people that are constantly thinking about their worries or putting their attention on what they don't have or thinking that life is not fair and entertaining thoughts like that, or not letting go of things in the past that someone has done for you, not forgiving others, these suck the energy right out of you. So I work with my mind and I don't entertain negativity. And the other thing that I do is that I look at everyone as if they're me. Because they truly are. When you're really clear, what you start to understand is we're all part and parcel of what nature calls the unified field. Science has said it. And each and every one of us are part of this unified field in life. And so for me to think that anyone is less than me or better than me, that's not true. Each and every one of us has a gift. Each and every one of us has the ability to love maximum, to be an awakened human being. And so that is how I look at everyone, that they really matter, that every single person is here as my teacher. And I find that gives me a lot of energy. And the other thing is that I consistently choose in favor of my passion. There isn't anything in my life, nothing. And I'm really serious because I know every moment matters. So I have this beautiful, incredible life, but it wasn't always that way. I just kept my attention on what I chose to create instead of what I didn't choose to create. And if you want to have a lot of energy, that's how you do it. And I looked at all the different areas of my life. Spirituality. Okay, so I do my morning meditation and I do my afternoon meditation. That fills me with great energy. I don't entertain limiting beliefs. I don't entertain limiting beliefs about others or myself. I don't hold things against others. I don't know anyone that I haven't forgiven something for. I don't hold anything in my heart. Every time you are not forgiving someone, that is a big drain on your energy, and it's draining until you start to realize that the only person that needs forgiving is you for having those thoughts of someone else that you're not letting go of. And so all of these different areas, what do? I fill my body temple with really good, fresh, organic food. And that gives me energy. The other thing is I live in a beautiful home. This is my home. This isn't a picture. And my house, every space in my house, it matters. So there's coherence everywhere. And so all of these things, every aspect of your life is important. There is nothing in your life that isn't important. So if you want to be youthful, if you want to really know what it feels like to have an abundance of energy, well, practice these things. And I'll give you one thing to do right now. Practice the 7-day mental diet. And all that simply is, and I teach this in my programs, is that for 7 days, every day you become aware. Every time you become aware you're thinking a negative thought, oh, this is going to be tough for some of you, then you flip it to a positive. and you don't entertain negativity. So if you do that for 7 days, guess what? You will completely change the way you see the world. And that will give you a great amount of energy right there. A lot of people confuse themselves and say, I'm living my purpose, when they really mean I'm living my passion. Your passion, in the passion test, what we say is your passion is like breadcrumbs. You know how we take bread and we pull it off when we go to the beach and we're feeding the birds, right? Or we're at the park and we're taking the bread and we're making, this little path of the bread so that the birds can, come and eat it. Well, your passions are like breadcrumbs. They're like a little path that you follow that lead you on to the path of your destiny. And your destiny is your purpose, why you are put here on this planet. What is your gift to give? So when you follow the path of passion, what eventually happens is that you arrive at the door of your purpose and you start to know clearly, oh, this is what my gifts are. This is what I'm supposed to gift humanity with. The number one thing that gets in the way of anyone living a passionate life are limiting beliefs. In other words, false beliefs, false ideas, false concepts, thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not rich enough in order to have what I want. And your limiting beliefs, they're so powerful because the mind is powerful. That's where your limiting beliefs live. And if you entertain these limiting beliefs, then your life becomes an outcome of all of these limiting beliefs that you're holding and continuously saying over and over and over again. So if you want to live a passionate life, one of the things that you need to do is undo these limiting beliefs, these beliefs that say, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I'll never have what I want. So that it's not like a brick wall in order for you to live a passionate life. It's if you have a passion, but you have all these limiting beliefs, that's what that brick wall does. That brick wall stops you right in your tracks. And it makes it impossible for you to really live your passions full out. So if you want to really live a passionate life, one of the things that you want to learn how to do is undo these limiting beliefs, these thoughts of, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'll never be good enough, everybody else is better than me. And once you undo those limiting beliefs, you're free, you have freedom, you are in your power. And when you're in your power, then you're on the highway of passion and you can go as fast as you want. If a person isn't clear on what matters most to them, then they're like a leaf to the wind. The wind comes along and they just blow away. They have no grounding. They have no anchor. But when someone's really super clear about what matters most to them, they're like a samurai. And they easily can attract into their life what they need, the people, the places, or the things, in order to live their passions full out. And this is the difference between someone who is clear about what matters most to them and someone who doesn't have a clue. When you're living a life where, okay, I guess I'll do that, but it's not a life where you love what you do, well, everything in your life is colored by that. If there's dissatisfaction, if you're off because you're not living your gifts in this lifetime, then the people around you are going to feel it. Because why? Because you won't be as happy. And so that spills out onto your children. It spills out on your husband or your wife. It spills out, that lack of fulfillment and happiness feels, it just infiltrates your every working hour, your every breath. And so that's why it's so important. If you want to give maximum to the world, you have to give maximum to you. And how do you give maximum to you? By knowing what matters most to you. And that's what I call your passions. The difference between people who know what their passion is and people who don't? Well, look at the world. I mean, walk outside, go down the street, look in people's faces. People who are living a passionate life are on fire. They're on fire because their life is so exciting. They're doing what they care about. They're doing what they love. They feel that fulfillment. They're just so full. And they're full of happiness and bliss because they're living a life that really has a purpose to it. And then walk down the street again and see the faces of the people that don't have a clue why they're even here on the planet, that for some reason just chose, okay, I guess I'll work in a bank, or maybe I'll be a car salesman. They didn't really think about it. What they did was they made what I call a money-based decision. Well, I've got to have so much money to pay my rent. Oh, look in the paper, look in the editorials. Ding, there's a job opening. They didn't really think about, what do I love? What are my skills? What are my talents? What do I do naturally? What do people compliment me on? And most of all, what am I passionate about? Well, it's so interesting. Let's talk about what is passion first, because most people think, gosh, if I get that red Corvette, or if I have the best house in the world, but truly living one's passion is all about aligning with God, nature, higher power, the universe's will for you. And there's this beautiful saying in the Passion Test: what you love and God's will for you is one and the same. What you love and God's will for you is one and the same. And when you align with that, then what happens is, and you start, as I've been talking about, choosing in favor of your passion, choosing in favor of the things that matter most, then your life becomes so full, that you start to overflow. And when you overflow, the next step is that just the natural progression of that overflowing in bliss, because you're here living a life that matters, is that all you want to do is give to others. And it's really in giving to others, that is when you've really reached the pinnacle of what I call great success. That's the road to happy. My ex-husband is my best friend. We haven't been married for over 24 years. And when Chris wanted to meet his ideal mate, he took the passion test, and all he did was he wrote down all the different passions that he had, the different qualities that he wanted this woman that he wanted to attract into his life to have. And so he wrote down things like, and in the passion test, we have the first sentence, when my life is ideal, I am. And he wrote down things like, my ideal mate thinks I'm the only man in the world. I am her number one. Or, when my life is ideal, I am with the sweetest, sweetest woman on the planet. When my life is ideal, I wake up every morning next to my soulmate and we say to one another, honey, it doesn't get any better than this. And what Chris did was he made a list of over 10 passions like this, like the examples I just gave you. And then he did the elimination process to come up with his top 5 passions of all the ones that he wrote. And then what he did was he wrote them down on a little 3x5 card, because what you put your attention on grows stronger in your life. And every day he would just innocently look at this little 3x5 card, and he kept his attention on what he chose to create, what he chose to attract into his life. He didn't worry about it. He didn't fret about it. He didn't hassle about it. He didn't have any limiting beliefs about it. He didn't let anything get in the way. He just read his little card that had his 5 top passions to attract his ideal mate. And sure enough, and this is so interesting, he's living in California and he attracts this woman who is living in Switzerland at the time. Now, one of his passions that he wrote was, she is on a similar spiritual path. And Chris happens to practice transcendental meditation. Well, it turns out that she had been practicing transcendental meditation many years, just like he had. And the minute they met, they knew. So it's all about clarity, and Chris just got super clear, kept his attention on what he chose to create, didn't let any limiting beliefs get in his way, and now he's with his ideal mate, and they are so happy and they are so lovely together. You never have to worry about, is this my passion, once you take the passion test? Because here's what will happen. After you've taken the passion test, gotten clear on the things that matter most to you, and you come up with your top 5 passions, and you start to put your attention on those things, the next step is to take action. What will inevitably happen is that if something really isn't a passion, you'll find that you keep putting it off. It's, it doesn't bring you joy when you think about doing it. And so you'll automatically know, oh, that's not what I'm passionate about. And so what do? You take the passion test again. You get clear on you know a little bit deeper what matters to you and what doesn't. And so every time you take the passion test, you get even clearer and clearer and clearer. And that's so great. That's what's so great about the passion test. It's the only test that you will never fail. Living a passionate life doesn't necessarily mean that you're like Janet Atwood. I'm like an excited, passionate, oh my God, let's go for it human being. Other people, though, their excitement is from within. It's just a warm, fuzzy feeling of joy. So don't compare yourself to me or to anyone else. Just know that when you align yourself with the things you love, the feelings that you have will be those feelings that bring you the greatest joy. There's this beautiful book. It's called Success Built to Last, and it was written by my friends Stuart Emery, Mark Thompson, and Jerry Porras. And what they did was they interviewed over 200 really successful people who had known success for 20, 30, 40 years. And what they found when they were finished with all their interviews was that all of these 200 people, highly successful people, had one thing in common. And that one thing in common was that all of them did what they loved. They followed their passion. When I have a day off, not every day off is the same. I just ask myself, what do I feel like doing today? What would be the most fun thing in the world? And of course, it always involves friends because I'm a golden retriever. And what that means is golden retrievers just love people. I love people. So my day off would always include my good friends. We'd always be doing something, the people that just I love and they love me. And it's just this beautiful dance of joy around each other. And my day off would always include doing some form of spiritual practice because that's what I love to do. That's just kind of what I do every day. It's not just my day off. There would be a lot of music in my day off because I love to sing and I love to write music. And there would be great time in nature because I live right at nature, right outside my door. I have a gigantically long nature path that I love to go on and just fill myself with nature, and then kick back in the night and watch a good movie with my friends and just hang out. I'm pretty simple. It's not like, whoa, that's so different, huh? Yeah. A favorite ritual of mine, and this is a health ritual. I mean, we have we can have a spiritual ritual, we can have relationship rituals, we have all kinds of rituals. One of my favorite rituals for health is that I make a green drink. I love organic food. And so I love to fill my body with really beautiful green food. So every day I take almond milk, organic almond milk, organic cucumber, organic celery, organic spinach, and a half of an organic avocado. Everything's organic. I put it in my blender and it just takes a couple of minutes. And then I add a little stevia, which is natural sweetener from trees. And then I've got my salad for a day. I love that health ritual. And if everybody did that, you just have this little green smoothie every day, you'd be good to go. Your body would be humming and say, thank you so much for feeding my body temple. If you really want to have good relationships in your life, the first step is to have a good relationship with you. Because as you treat you treat everyone. And so what are some of the elements that one would need in order to create a good relationship with yourself? Because you matter. And the first thing I would say is that you're living a life that you feel is worthy of you, that you're being able to share your gifts with the world, that you know that your gifts are important to be able to uplift the rest of humanity. And it may be as simple as your passion is to make a beautiful garden, but it brings you so much joy when people walk by and they see your beautiful flowers. It really doesn't matter if it's a big thing, or maybe it's a very quiet passion. What matters is that you're living it and you're being it, because that creates a total human being, a person that really knows who they are from within, and that naturally radiates from without. Yeah, talent is different than passion. Your passion is that which you really love. Your talent, when I grew up, I was talented. I was always heard from my parents, "Oh my God, you're so talented as an actress. You're such a talented songwriter. You're so talented at drama. You're incredibly great at volleyball. You're wonderfully talented at writing songs and singing." And your talents are those things that come naturally to you. And your passion is those things that you love. So you could have talent, but they might not necessarily be your top passion. Well, there's many ways of doing that. And number one, I would say the most important thing you can do to attract whatever you want into your life and to live your life the most effectively that you possibly can is to first know yourself deeply. And how do you know yourself deeply? Well, one of the practices is deep meditation. Because getting silent and still, what do you drop into? You drop into the nature of who you are. And our nature is love, and our nature is light. And then starting from there, everything else manifests. But another way is that helps someone is to, again, get clear on what it is that matters most to you. When you get clear on what matters most to you, that's when you start to know yourself deeply. This is what I care about. This is what I love. And when you do that, you become very, very powerful when you really make a statement to yourself. This is what I'm here to do. These are my gifts to serve humanity. And then when you really know that, then all of nature starts to organize the people, the places, the things that you need in order to really serve humanity in the highest possible way. And that is the best for all of it. That's what's open to each and every one of us. That is our birthright, to be able to really know what our gifts are, and then to share those gifts with the world. And every single one of us, no exception, has a gift. And so our job is to really know ourselves deeply and start to really understand, what is it that I care about? What is it that matters most to me? And then start to choose in favor of those things. And then automatically what you'll find is that you wake up and you go, God, I'm happy for no reason. But it really was all about the fact that you got really clear, started to know yourself deeply, and started to choose for the things that mattered most to you. And when you do that on a regular basis, then all it does is just open all possibilities to your life. Love this question. In the passion test, we have this saying: whenever you're faced with a choice, a decision, or an opportunity, choose in favor of your passion. So the first thing to do, and it's just the easiest thing to do, is first get clear on what are you most passionate about, and come up with maybe 5, 10, 15 passions. And then through this process called the elimination process that one would go through in the passion test, come up with your top 5 passions. And then whenever you're faced with a choice, a decision, or an opportunity, then choose in favor of one of those top passions. And when you do that, you will never go the wrong way. And you will do what I call do less and accomplish more. Well, my most important morning routine is that I do transcendental meditation. I've been meditating over 55 years now. And so what do I do every day? Well, I have many routines. I mean, truly, I wake up, I set my intention. I always am in gratitude. In other words, when I'll get in the shower, that's my favorite time to be in gratitude. And so I just start thanking the Creator for all the good that comes into my life, because from abundance comes abundance. And so when you're filled with gratitude for what you have and you're not complaining about what you don't, then nature, God, higher power, the Creator, just loves to just say, oh my God, let me give you even more. That's how you create more abundance in your life, by having that attitude of gratitude. And so after my shower, then I go straight to my meditation room. I sit down, I get very, very quiet, because in that quietness, I really come into contact with my essential nature, which is pure love, pure bliss, pure light. And then after I come out of my meditation, I'm so much clearer, and I set my intention. I don't even get out of my meditation seat. I set my intention. What would I love to have happen today? And in that powerful state, I start to set up all of the people, the places, the things that I need naturally to support me as I go about my day. These are my most important rituals. By living your passion. If you wake up every morning and you're excited and you're fulfilled and you're energized, that's going to create dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, all those happy, wonderful happiness things that you get in your body because you're doing what you love. Those chemicals that just get released and just in all your cells and make you so filled with bliss. And that creates a very youthful person from within. And whatever you are from within automatically radiates from without. So if you really want to have the key to a youthful life, then absolutely figure out, what do you care about? What matters to you? What really can get you out of bed in the morning? Because if you're not doing that, then you're just stressed. You're just unhappy. And that is heavy energy. And it shows up. It starts to wear on your whole physiology, and especially right here. Honestly, you can see it on a person's face. I'm over 100 years old. Look at me. I live my passion. That's a joke. We used to think that abundance was how much money can I have? But we've all started to see that money doesn't buy you freedom, money doesn't buy you happiness, money doesn't buy you love. So true abundance is when you have truly a balance in your life and you're being able to live all the areas of your life that are important to you: relationships, health, spirituality, fun, your career, all these different areas of your life are fulfilled. And that is true abundance, when really every aspect of your life, because every aspect of your life matters. When you're really living the best of the best in all the different areas of your life. And that is true abundance, when you really know yourself deeply. And that is what the passion test helps people to do, to really gain clarity around who they are, what they care about, and then how to be able to attract those things into their life so that they can live a beautiful, abundant life.